From Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21, Fox at 4.
A threat at Bend High School brings a strong police presence and puts the building into a lockout. Other schools go into secure mode, creating frightening moments for students and parents. Bend police determined there's no credible threat, but police are still on the scene as a precaution. Let's get right out to Noah Chast. He's live at Bend High School. Noah?
Well, Lee, you're exactly correct. Police are still here on the scene. They have caution taped off much of the school, and they're still investigating because, as you mentioned, a person did make a threat saying that they were at the school with a weapon. They investigated that, did not find that. But here's a pretty interesting development right now as you look to my left, your right. It seems like a bomb unit of some kind is investigating here at Bend High School. And here's what Bend police just tweeted. They said, heads up, an unattended bag was located on the exterior grounds of Bend High, and Bend police have asked OSP's explosive disposal unit to examine it out of an abundance of caution. The area has been cordoned off. The unit is on scene. We'll update that as soon as possible. So that's what's going on right now. But in terms of the threat earlier today, a call was made around 1:30 with Bend police responding in minutes. They searched the area for roughly an hour, deciding there was no credible threat. Students inside were placed in a secure mode, or what can be referred to as a lockout, meaning there was no threat inside the building, but students were kept in their classrooms or locker rooms. All of the Bend schools were put in secure mode out of an abundance of caution. For the Bend students and parents, the whole situation was alarming, knowing something was happening, but not being sure exactly what.
We're going to go into a secure. Everyone was like, oh, that's a little weird because we didn't think anything was on the schedule for a drill.
Shortly after, my 17-year-old texted me and said, hey, just heads up, we're safe. We're in the locker room. The teachers locked the doors. Police are going through the school with guns.
We saw on social media that some people were posting the police vehicles and stuff.
I was driving, so I parked, and I was just worried, nervous. Told her, make sure, keep the doors locked. Text her back, said, keep the doors locked, stay safe, Oof.
And so we kind of just stayed in the classroom that we were in until they told us that we were out of it. But it was kind of weird, I guess, because people didn't really know what was going on, but we knew we were safe.
And around 2:15, police deemed there was no active threat and the school was cleared to continue as usual and allow students to leave.
Our priority is to get there and end the threat. And so that's why you saw, if you were out and about, you saw cars going lights and sirens as fast as they could to get to the school.
And Bend police is currently still investigating the threat and seeing who made that, and they're trying to find out who that number was from, if it was a real number or if it was a fake number. And actually right behind me just now at the moment, they're taking down the caution tape in that area where they were investigating with what I believe to be their bomb disposal unit and around the entire school actually. So I guess whatever threat that possibly they were looking for, they've deemed it clear. That's not official yet at the moment, but they are taking down the caution tape around the school and around the areas where they were investigating. So we'll have more updates to this as they come in terms of what's happening at the school. But our latest update is that there is no active shooting or weapon threat, and they're taking down the caution tape here at Bend High. Live in Bend, Noah Chast, News Channel 21.
The Oregon Supreme Court today denied a petition to overturn the block on gun measure 114. The state had filed a motion to reverse a Harney County judge's order blocking the measure from going into effect. Measure 114 creates a new permit process for buying firearms, requiring background checks for the sale or transfer of a gun. It also puts restrictions on magazine capacities. The measure was approved by voters in November, but remains blocked until a lower court holds a hearing. Tonight we're asking, should the state move forward with Measure 114? To weigh in, head over to our web poll on the KTVZ.com homepage. Now, to a very serious side of the Super Bowl. A nonprofit based here in Bend is in Arizona this week, overseeing efforts to stop human trafficking. In 14 years, it's recovered 138 missing children within 1 week of the game. Carly Keenan explains.
Thousands of people are traveling this weekend for Super Bowl 57, but there are more showing up than just Chiefs and Eagles fans. I spoke with the director of In Our Backyard, who's already in Phoenix for the big game. As the country gets ready for a day of eating, drinking, and of course, football, some are preparing in a different way for the Super Bowl. I spoke with Cheryl Chickey, executive director of In Our Backyard, a Bend-based national organization in the fight against human trafficking. She tells me the Super Bowl creates an environment that becomes a hub for one of the biggest trafficking events.
You think about it, the whole week leading up to Super Bowl, there are festivities happening around that Super Bowl city. That's going to attract people as well as anyone who's going to say, maybe I can exploit someone.
Human trafficking happens 365 days a year throughout the U.S., but the risk increases around entertainment and party atmospheres.
Every bar, every club, every restaurant, they're getting ready as a host city to prepare for the influx of humans. And any influx of humans, especially around bars, alcohol, party scenes, it's a way for traffickers to really fuel through.
Enjoying the NFL championship game is not what breeds trafficking.
Super Bowl doesn't increase human trafficking. Sex buyers increase human trafficking.
Every year, In Our Backyard teams up with local organizations and law enforcement at the Super Bowl host city in a grassroots effort to stop human trafficking. It's a 10-day, boots-on-the-ground event dedicated to gathering information and finding victim survivors. On Saturday, February 4th, volunteers went to 300 convenience stores in the Phoenix area, putting up freedom stickers and handing out missing children booklets.
They look just like this. It has the hotline on them.
Chicky says traffickers often make victim survivors go into convenience stores to buy supplies.
Alcohol, snacks, condoms, all these things that they need to really profit for somebody else.
Freedom stickers posted in gas station bathrooms create a safe, quiet way to reach victim survivors. Within 1 hour of Saturday's event, Chicky says several missing children were seen and reported to law enforcement, proving even small efforts create big changes in the fight against human trafficking.
We fight for the one. Lots of efforts are being done, but I do believe in the community mission. It is worth getting out there and doing something.
Freedom stickers will stay up in convenience stores and gas stations even after the big game festivities end. In Our Backyard will return to Central Oregon after the Super Bowl to talk about the results from this year's event. Carly Keenan, News Channel 21.
We started the day under clear skies, but clouds are expected to roll in tonight. Chief Meteorologist Bob Shaw has a first look at your local alert weather forecast.
Well, this has been one beautiful day here on the high desert. We've seen this nice little ridge of high pressure steer all the activity that is coming off the Pacific well to our north. It's been kind of a rainy day for the Puget Sound area, but Central Oregon, we've been in good shape here. We have developed a few clouds as this ridge makes its way east. We're going to see more clouds overnight tonight. This is going to be a fairly pleasant night. Now, those breezy conditions that we saw this afternoon, we'll carry a little bit of that into this evening. Partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows are going to be pretty moderate in the mid-20s to low 30s. And tomorrow morning, well, we'll be partly cloudy and we'll look for a nice day ahead. More on this shortly.
George Fox University is helping Central Oregon schools address a teacher shortage. The school offers an accelerated education degree. Today, Kelsey McGee talked with teachers who've completed the program. Kelsey?
There are one-on-one meetings once a week when students need support, plus an evening class once a week and one Saturday class a month virtually. The program puts teachers in the classroom in 16 to 20 months.
I think I was pursuing the medical field, and it wasn't successful, so I shifted careers and decided to pursue education.
Claudia Hernandez enrolled in the George Fox Elementary Education Accelerated Degree Program in 2017. She now works in Redmond, where there's an emphasis on getting bilingual teachers in the classroom.
It costs about $35,000 overall for the entire program. So they walk out with a bachelor's degree, a teaching license, and a multiple subjects endorsement.
The George Fox program is tailored to people already living in Central Oregon. They attend most classes online.
This program was developed to meet the needs of people that are working. Often they're in a career already and they just want to switch, or they're the breadwinner for their family.
I had 2 babies through this program and still was able to graduate on time and meet all the requirements of the program. So it's an amazing program, unlike any other.
Kayla Nealand is a special education teacher at Warm Springs K through 8th. Of the 40 teachers on staff at Warm Springs K through 8th, 14 are George Fox graduates with teaching licenses.
The requirements were once a week in person and then like one Saturday a month, and then all other classes were accessible online. So just with that right there, made it a really supportive program. The instructors and all of my coaches within the program, they were amazing.
Some of the George Fox graduates are ready to pursue more education, realizing their time in the classroom is making a difference.
I want to pursue more. I kind of want to go back to school, and my dream is to be a principal one day. But in the aspects of getting into the field, I feel like that goal's complete.
George Fox partners with the school districts to pair student teachers with paid positions. The Central Oregon program has been so successful, the university is considering expanding it to help other districts deal with teacher shortages. Kelsey McGee, News Channel 21.
Coming up, Oregonians are on the cusp of legal psychedelic experiences. Plus, 4 local high school ski teams are competing to find out who gets to go to the state finals. And Redmond police honor a young man tonight. It's his lifelong dream. Stay tuned for a story that will melt your heart up next.